Hello and welcome, Crosstown Gamer here. It's early morning for me, so if I make any mistakes, then it's probably because I'm tired. But we're going to press on. So we're going to continue our playthrough of Colonial Twilight today. And if you last recall, this is the state of the board. And in this playthrough, I'm playing as the government faction against the flowchart bot for the FLN faction. And so here we go. We are going to get right on into it. And as you can see, we've sort of retaken a bit of control up here, but they still have the FLN still has a strong foothold in the north, which is a little upsetting. We've got some active guerrillas down here in the southwest in Mecheria, or Mecheria. I'm not sure how exactly to pronounce it, and so I apologize. Anyway, the first card on deck here is going to be Blueight. And we are first eligible. We can activate all guerrillas in a space in Algeria, so not in Morocco or Tunisia. Roll a d6, remove 2 guerrillas to casualties if the roll is less than the number of guerrillas. I think we're going to do this event. I was thinking about it just before I started, and we could take a full turn, and do all these things, but everything is pretty much, with the exception of down here, underground, so we'd want to do a sweep or a garrison, I would think, to activate those things, and then we could do neutralize or something like that. We could remove 2 active guerrillas or bases. I mean, technically it's better, I guess, to sweep because we can do it in multiple places and then neutralize for a guaranteed removal of 2 pieces, rather than this die roll thing. But this is free, no resources required, and it keeps us first eligible, so I think we're actually going to do that. This might be the wrong call strategically, but let's do the event. So I also was thinking about this, and we have a couple good viable candidates for doing this. We don't necessarily want to do it here, even though this is a good spot because the FLN have control, and if we remove 2, they would still have control, and we wouldn't be able to really fight back here. If we did it here, though, for example, it's an opposition space, so we have the ability to sort of make headway there as far as support goes. We could remove 2 guerrillas from this, potentially. Everything would be active, and then we would have enough in the region to, what are they called? Not provinces. Sector. We'd have enough in the sector to be able to take out the last guerrilla and the base with like a neutralize in a future turn. Honestly, same with over here. And this might be better to try and get them to funnel as many troops as possible out of their safe zones to try and get them onto the board, rather than just be able to amass things in the east and then kind of march our way west. So I think we're going to do it here. So we activate everything according to the card. And if this is less than, if we roll a die, and the roll is less than or equal to the number of guerrillas, so we do want to do this in a spot with as many guerrillas as possible to roll under it. The number of guerrillas is 3, so we need a 3, a 2, or a 1. We've got a 50% chance here. Oh, son of a gun. Okay. Well, that was our turn. We got a 4, and that was greater than or equal to the number of guerrillas, so we do not remove them to casualties. That would have been really great, though, to remove them straight to here. Okay, so now the bot gets to go. They cannot do this event. That's another benefit of doing the event, is they don't get to remove any of our police to available. But they get to go next. They're not limited. So going on, each FLN base at 1+ has 2 underground guerrillas and 1+ is 0. So this is going to be a no, because in Suk Aras, then it does not have any underground guerrillas, and it is a 1+ population space. So government was active already and will be second eligible on the next card? No. The government was active already, but will be first eligible. A rally would place base or FLN bases on the map ×2. Oh man, I forgot to do this again. I forgot to... Okay, let's see if it would place a base. So in order to place a base, then let's look at the rally. 3+ populations and no cubes, or at 4+ population. I don't think any of those qualify because there's 3+ guerrillas, but there's a cube. 3+ guerrillas, but there's cubes. Tunisia and Morocco are already full. So yeah. So that's a no for the bases. Now the other part of this is number of bases on the map ×2, which is 8 × 2, which is 16. It's greater than the number of guerrillas at FLN bases, plus 1d6 plus 2 rounded down. Okay, so how many guerrillas are there at the bases? We got 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14. So 14 right now is less than 16. Make sure I count it right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 12, 13, 14. Yeah. So 14. And now if we roll a die and the 1d6 divided by 2 rounded down is a 1, it would be 15, which would fulfill the requirement, but anything else would be unfulfilling of the requirement. So 1 or a 2 basically, or a 3. Let's see, 3 divided by 2 is rounded down would be a 1 as well. Okay, it was a 6. So that's a no. Because 16 is not greater than 14 plus 3, which is 17. All right. Now, where's the marker for that? Because I do want to... I'll do that later. Or at least I'll say I'll do it later and then forget. So they're going to march. Never march last underground. Or last 2 from a base. Nor the last guerrilla of any support space. Cause no control. At 1+ pop. Okay. So they want to get 1 underground guerrilla to each FLN Algerian base with no such guerrilla for the lowest total cost. And yeah, lowest total cost route first, right? Because they can kind of hop, skip, and a jump within the Walaya. So I think the lowest total cost, this is a place that has a base but no underground guerrillas. All the rest of the bases in Algeria have underground guerrillas. The lowest total cost is going to be from Tunisia in. And there was something to do with the border. Let's take a look. I think it's like if the number of cubes plus the, let's see. Activate moving guerrillas if crossing border, add border zone status number to the number of government cubes. Oh, right. Yeah, so the number... Guerrillas moved across the international border and moving pieces plus government cubes exceed 3. Activate moving guerrillas. Oh, that's not going to work for them then. Because the number of government cubes. Algerians, I think, count as government cubes. Right? Oh my gosh. I have to see, this is why it's too early in the morning for me, because cubes would imply Algerian or French. But government cubes, is that just French government cubes? Or is that both? And I have to look it up because it's morning times. So 1 second. Yeah, okay. I'm so dumb. Occasionally, the game will specify French or Algerian. Otherwise, if it just says government, it applies equally to both nationalities. So saith the rulebook. So this is actually not the cheapest route, because moving something in here, you add 4 plus another 3, because it's international, it's 7. And that's a lot more than 3, so you'd have to activate all the moving guerrillas, and then the effect would be there wouldn't be an underground guerrilla there. So I think they would actually move this one in. And so to march, move guerrillas. If the space moved into has support, it does not. Or guerrillas moved across an international border, did not, and moving pieces exceed 3, blah, 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 blah. So the international border is just this yellow line here. The Walaya border doesn't matter as far as, because this is all Algeria. So they are allowed to do this, and they don't care that they're leaving this undefended, because there's no base. And so they can march this guy in here. Don't have to worry about activating it. That will cost them a resource. And now, all right. Get 1 guerrilla to each support space with no such. 2 up to 1 city if Talib. Okay, yeah, I think that's a card. If last campaign, only march where staying underground. So let's look at all the support spaces. We have 1 support space. There's already a guerrilla there. Support space, already a guerrilla there. There is not one there. So it sounds like they want to march into, where is this? Algiers? Yeah. Okay, so to where staying underground and lowest total cost route. So the lowest total cost route is going to be from Medea, because marching from here, they would not be able to do it. They could march twice, but only if they're staying within the same Walaya, and there's a Walaya border here. So they're going to march up to here to get to a support space. It's already at government control, so they're not creating additional government control. Oh, I also have to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this is uncontrolled now. So put that over there. And that does not affect the points at all, so we don't have to worry about that. So government control is emulsified, or that's the wrong word, solidified there, and then also they chipped away at it a little bit there, but that's fine. I think I paid for it already. I hope I did. Okay, they're going to remove government control in 1 sector with no opposition and 1+ pop in the mountains, if possible. Remove government control. And they don't want to remove the last guerrilla from a base. So I was going to say, going over here, just 1 would remove control. And maybe it would have been wise to, well, same effect. So never march last underground, or last 2. Never march last 1 underground, nor last 2 guerrillas. Okay, so they can march 1 into here. They still keep control here. Now there's 5 pieces to 5 pieces here. They're going to remove control there. And they will pay for that as well. They started with 8, so 2/3 of the resources there is going to be, 5 or 6. They've used 3 of it. Oh, with no opposition and 1+ population. This has opposition, so they're actually not going to do that. All right. So yeah, good thing we did pick over here because they were going to go in there anyway. All right. They can do it down here. Oh, that's a 0 population spot. They could march, if they march 2 into here, that would do it. And trying to look at other locations where this would be plausible. So, remove government control, sector with no opposition and 1+ population. So they could go over here too, but this would cost them dearly to, and they can't remove the last 2. Well, I think this is a 0 population zone. They don't care about that. So up here, they need 2. They just can't remove their last underground one from a base. And they don't want to lose control here. So I think they would march these 2 over. So we've already marched from there into the city. And now we're marching from here over this direction. So that's the fine way to do it. We don't want to do it the backwards way where it looks like we're daisy chaining things together. We also marched over there. So did I just pay for that or not? 1, 2. No, I didn't. Okay. So this removes control. And then the last one, get exactly 3 guerrillas to 1 non-resettled 0 pop space. Non-resettled 0 pop space. 1 non-resettled 0 pop space with room for base. Okay, so they want 3 guerrillas. This is a non-resettled 0 pop space that they are already in. I don't think they would march just for the sake of it. So I don't think they can really do that one anymore. Like they could try to march down here, but we've already marched from this area, so not gonna work. So nope. So that was all their march, and then they're going to do it with subvert in up to 2 spaces with Algerian cubes to remove. Let's see. In up to 2 spaces with Algerian cubes and underground gorilla to remove the space of the last cube from up to 2 spaces. All right. So let's look at subvert. Subvert says remove or replace Algerian cubes and in up to 2 spaces with underground gorillas and Algerian cubes, again like it said. And so they're going to remove the 2 cubes, troops or police, or they're going to replace, that's right, okay, they were going to replace 1 with an underground gorilla if they so desire. So the flowchart says they're going to do it to remove a space's last cube from up to 2 spaces. So select spaces to remove police, then troops. So Algerian. Ooh. I think that's the spot. It's up to 2. They can remove up to a total of 2 Algerian cubes. So up to 2 total. They could remove them both from the same place, or they could do like 1 and 1 somewhere else. They could also do it here, remove a last cube, Algerian cube, because they do have an underground gorilla. Select spaces to remove police, then troops. there's no qualification on like highest population. It needs to be a city, that kind of thing. Let's see, or replace one with. So they can remove this one in a space, and then they can do the second part, which is in one space, replace one Algerian police with a guerrilla, and then randomly we're able. So they've already done it in one spot, they get one more spot, and so they're going to remove a police from one of these spots with underground. Oh, that doesn't have underground guerrillas over on the bottom left. So here or in Sukaras, they're going to remove and replace. So we have to determine, is it going to be here or here? So we can do 1, 2, 3, and they can't remove both from here because that would be a total of 3 guerrillas. Sorry, 3 cubes that they would remove, which isn't cool. So yeah. Right. Okay. I'm just thinking, like, why wouldn't they want to replace in both locations? But the rules say so they're going to remove it first, and then in one space they're going to replace. All right. So let's do a 1, 2, and 3, or a 4, 5, and 6 for selecting which zone we're going to do here. 6. So they'll replace a police with one of their own guerrillas, and they do get to pull it from the board. There's none available, but I forget how this works. Let's see. Place guerrillas until none available. Then from map using active guerrillas only per march limitations. From where there's the most guerrillas and flip underground at bases. Actually, I think. Oops, that's extort. I just know that, like, when you're doing stuff from the map, it might only be in March. Let me double check. Okay, I was saved by the bell here on the subvert. So you either get to remove a total of 2 cubes, or if you did not remove a total of 2 cubes, you can replace one with one guerrilla. So you don't get to do both of those things, like remove cubes and then like remove 1 cube and then replace one. So we already removed 1 cube here. So effectively, we also get to remove 1 cube here. So in the flow chart, what that looks like, we don't get to replace. So we don't have to worry about that at all. We removed a space's last cube from up to 2 spaces. We did it from 1. Then in one space, replace one. We can't do that one because we've already removed cubes. Then randomly we're able. Yeah, and so only per 1 or 2 above. And so randomly we chose this over this with a die roll. So we removed the 2 cubes, and I think they go back to available. Yeah, 2 available. So say the guidelines. So that was their special activity. So they actually removed. Oh, and then in here now they have control of that sector. They do not have control of the other location in which they did stuff, which was here. Government still has control of that. However, yeah, they did take out a couple of guys. So all in all, let's see. That was this card. They did this action here. So we can adjust our eligibility again, and we get to remain first because we did the event, which now I'm thinking probably was a mistake because look how much crap they did. But they are running low on resources, so maybe that will help us. This card goes in the discard pile. We'll reveal the next card. All right. Factional plot. Take a quick read of this. Remove half guerrillas in Tunisia to available. Round down. There's only 4 in there, so this would be removing 2 guerrillas. May redistribute any number of guerrillas in Morocco and Tunisia between these 2 countries. Okay, so they could maneuver stuff around. No effect if they're not yet independent. While they are, I don't care if the FLN does this event. That doesn't really bother me that much because they'd be potentially moving like 1 or 2 guerrillas between those 2 places where I can touch them anyway. So we're free to do a full turn here and not worry about them doing the event. So this is actually great for us. And I think, we're a little shy of 30 minutes, but I think we are going to stop here on just the one card that we did. So hopefully I can crank out a couple more videos in the upcoming couple of days here to satiate all of your needs, of course. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay. Just making sure that my control was taken care of. But if you look at what they did, they removed control here. They got some guerrillas where they need to go to protect their stuff. Like, no longer is this going to be a viable plan of ours to remove their base, which sucks. They took control of this sector as well. So we've got some work to do. We're going to strap on our bootstraps here. And yeah, anyway, we will see you next time. I think it's been real. It's been fun. And I also want to take a look at our pivotal events to make sure that I'm not missing out on anything there that we could be doing to help us. But yeah, otherwise, this has been Colonial Twilight. I'm Crosstown Gamer, and we'll see you next time.